You are listening to the Night Watch Records. Record entry, 2012. Tonight, we move away from the wood and the salt and enter the humming wires of the digital void. Imagine a puzzle with no edges, a riddle with no voice. A message appeared on a screen, and the world began to decode a secret it wasn't ready to find. We are opening the files on Cicada 3301. Close your eyes. Can you hear the static in the dark? On January 5th, 2012, the internet was just another hum of social media noise and flickering headlines. But on an anonymous image board, a single file was uploaded that would change the landscape of digital mystery forever. It was a simple black and white image of a cicada with a stark, cryptic message. Hello? We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. At first, most people dismissed it as a prank or an elaborate LARP, a live-action role-playing game. But for those who spent their lives in the world of cryptography and data, there was something about the image that felt different. It didn't feel like a game. It felt like an invitation to a secret world. The first step was hidden within the pixels of the image itself. By opening the file in a text editor, users found a Caesar cipher, a basic encryption technique named after the Roman emperor. Decoding it led to a URL. But this wasn't just a simple website. It was a dead end, or so it seemed. The site featured an image of a wooden duck with a mocking message. It seems you've been misled. There are no clues here. However, the highly intelligent individuals Cicada was looking for didn't give up. They looked deeper. They realized the duck was a hint toward a technique called steganography, the art of hiding data within data. By running the duck image through a specific decryption program, a hidden phone number was revealed, a number based in Texas. When the curious called that number, they didn't hear a human voice. They heard a cold, mechanical recording. Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original image. Find them, and you find the next step. This was the moment the mystery broke out of the digital void and entered the physical world. The hunt escalated at a terrifying speed. Hackers, mathematicians, and codebreakers from around the globe began collaborating, working through the night to solve puzzles that spanned across philosophy, ancient Mayan numerology, and high-level mathematics. But the real shock came when the trail led to the streets. QR codes began appearing on telephone poles and street lamps in cities all over the planet, from Paris and Seoul to Los Angeles and Sydney. This wasn't just a group of bored teenagers in a basement. This was an organization with a global reach. They were watching, they were waiting, and they were testing the world's greatest minds in real time. As the first wave of solvers reached the final gate, they were met with a warning. We want the best, not the followers. The puzzle was designed to weed out the weak. Only the first few to arrive would be allowed through the door. And then, as quickly as it had appeared, the site went dark. The cicada stopped singing. The digital world held its breath. Who was behind the curtain? Was it the CIA looking for new recruits? A secret society of hackers trying to change the world? Or something far more ancient, hiding behind the modern mask of technology? As the night deepened in 2012, the chosen few received a private message in the dark. A message that promised them everything and demanded even more. By the time the second round of puzzles emerged exactly a year later, in January 2013, the hunt for Cicada 3301 had evolved into an obsession for thousands. It was no longer just about hidden phone numbers or GPS coordinates. the clues were becoming darker, more academic, and deeply philosophical. This wasn't just a test of logic anymore. It was a test of ideology. At the heart of the 2013 mystery was a massive cryptic document known as the Liber Primus, the first book. It was a digital manuscript written in a secret runes alphabet, resembling a medieval grimoire, but built with the complexity of modern encryption. To the casual observer, it looked like gibberish. To the solvers, it was a Bible of digital mysticism. The Liber Primus contained pages of strange poetic text that spoke of the oneness of the self, the nature of information, and the death of the ego. It wasn't just code. It was a manifesto. The puzzles now required an intimate knowledge of things most people had never heard of. Aleister Crowley's occult philosophy, the music of Johann Sebastian Bach, and the mathematical beauty of the Fibonacci sequence. Cicada was mapping the intersection of ancient wisdom and futuristic tech. As the community of solvers grew, so did the paranoia. Participants began to realize that Cicada wasn't just looking for people who could code. They were looking for people who thought differently. People who believed in the absolute privacy of information and the power of the anonymous individual. It started to feel less like a recruitment drive and more like an invitation into a techno-anarchist cult. But while the internet was obsessing over the runes, something strange was happening in the background. Private messages began reaching the winners of the first round. These weren't public riddles. They were direct invitations to a dark web server. Those who entered found themselves in a chat room with other highly intelligent individuals and the enigmatic voice of Cicada 3301 itself. The voice told them that they were part of a think tank designed to protect the freedom of information. They were tasked with building tools to help whistleblowers and ensure that no government or corporation could ever truly control the flow of data. It was a noble goal, but it came with a price: absolute secrecy. One slip, one screenshot, and you were out. The circle was closing. Yet, as 2014 approached, the puzzles reached a level of difficulty that seemed impossible. The Liber Primus remained mostly undeciphered. Even the most brilliant cryptographers in the world were hitting a wall. It was as if the Cicada was deliberately choosing to remain hidden, testing not just the intelligence of the world, but its patience. Rumors began to circulate that the group was splintering. Was it a civil war within a secret society? Or had the investigators finally caught up to the ghosts? Some claimed Cicada was a front for a shadow government program, while others feared it was a radical group of hacktivists preparing for a digital war. As the years began to blur, the public puzzles stopped. The countdown clocks on their hidden sites hit 0 and disappeared. The static in the dark grew louder, but the message remained the same. Somewhere in the deep layers of the web, the Liber Primus still sits, waiting for someone to finish the translation. The rabbit hole didn't have a bottom. It had a mirror. And for those who looked too closely, the reflection staring back wasn't a hero of the internet, but a ghost in the machine. In our final chapter, we will look at the aftermath, the people who supposedly won, and the chilling silence that remains where a global movement once stood. As the years passed, the grand puzzles of Cicada 3301 slowly dissolved into the digital ether. The loud global hunt of 2012 and 2013 was replaced by a heavy, suspicious silence. But the questions didn't go away. If Cicada was looking for the world's greatest minds, what did they do with them once they found them? A few years ago, a crack appeared in the wall of secrecy. A man named Marcus Warner, one of the few who claimed to have solved the 2012 puzzle, spoke out. He described a world that was less like a spy movie and more like a high-stakes laboratory. According to Warner, those who made it through the final gate were invited to a private forum on the deep web. There they were greeted by Cicada itself. They weren't asked to hack banks or topple governments. They were asked to develop a piece of software, a tool for anonymous communication that no one, not even Cicada, could track. But as the project moved forward, the pressure became unbearable. The group was obsessed with perfection and absolute anonymity. Warner described a slow fracture within the organization. Some members felt the group had lost its way. Others felt the mission had become too radical. Eventually, the server went dark. The chosen few were left standing in a digital graveyard, holding pieces of a code that led nowhere. Since 2014, the public face of Cicada 3301 has been a ghost. There have been dozens of copycats and fake puzzles, but the original PGP signature, the digital fingerprint that proves a message is authentic, has remained silent. The Liber Primus, that cryptic runic book we spoke of, remains 90% undeciphered. It sits on the internet like an ancient monolith, mocking the cryptographers who try to crack its remaining pages. So, what was Cicada 3301? Some believe it was a masterstroke of recruitment for an intelligence agency like the NSA or MI6, a way to find the unfindable hackers who don't have resumes. Others are convinced it was a high-level cult of technomystics trying to birth a new kind of god from the wires of the internet. And then there are those who believe Cicada was simply an art project, a grand global performance meant to show us how much we don't know about the world we live in every day. Listen to the hum of your computer. Look at the screen you're holding. We live in a world built on layers of data, encrypted secrets, and hidden algorithms. We think we are the masters of our digital lives, but Cicada 3301 proved that there are rooms in this house we haven't even found yet. There are voices in the static that we are not yet smart enough to hear. The cicada is an insect that spends 17 years underground in the dark, only to emerge for a brief loud moment before vanishing back into the earth. Perhaps the 2012 mystery was just one of those moments. Perhaps somewhere in the deep encrypted layers of the web, the clock is still ticking and the next invitation is already being written. Our watch for tonight is over. The digital fire is fading and the static is returning to silence. The files on record entry 2012 are closed, for now. But remember, in the world of the cicada, the end of the puzzle is only the beginning of the secret. You are safe in the physical world. The wires are quiet. Your data is secure, or at least that's what you've been told. This has been a Night Watch Records presentation. I am Marcus. Rest your mind. The code is silent. Good night.